So when we talk about sales success, one of the biggest components to your success is going to be your confidence. And the good news is you weren't born with confidence, right? So you're not missing it. The bad news is you weren't born with it. So it means we gotta build it. We've got to grow it. Confidence comes from practice. Confidence comes from practice. Let's update our definition of self confidence specifically. And that really simply is, this is Bruce Hill's definition. If you Google it, it's not going to show up like this. Self confidence is knowing, right? It's a deep understanding, it's belief in who you are and who you are not, or giving yourself permission to learn and grow. Okay, let me say that again. So it's knowing who I am and who I am not, right? There's a contrast that happens there. I know I'm an excellent trainer, great coach. I'm not so great at pick something, like training lions. Pick something random, doesn't matter. So it's not self-deprecation that happens, it's an awareness that happens. Listen, if you need someone to come in and teach French, don't call Bruce. I don't speak French, all right? If you need someone to come in and teach personal and professional development, I got you. I've been doing this for 30 years. So now we have this clarity, and clarity helps us create confidence, okay? So when you think of confidence, I want to give yourself permission. You say, hey, I don't know this, and I can learn, right? Your confidence should be rooted in awareness that wherever you are right now is not permanent. So if you say, oh, I'm not a math person, right? Maybe we have a few of those. I've just never been good at math. Somewhere along the line, you have negative emotions attached to learning math, right? And something happens when negative emotions arise, your mind, yourself goes into fight, flight, or freeze. Maybe you've heard of that, right? It doesn't recognize that you aren't in danger, but it gives a response that you're in danger. And guess what happens when you have this danger response? You cannot learn. Your brain shuts down. You can Google something called cortisol, right? It literally moves from a higher functioning reasoning to a lower functioning reasoning, right? We're just responding, we're reacting, or we're frozen. That's fight, flight, or freeze. So for the rest of your life, you have this belief, this knowing, hey, I'm just not good at math. But you never gave yourself permission to learn it. You told yourself you can't, so guess what you don't do? You don't. What does sales have to do with math? A lot of times we have that danger reaction, that fight, flight, or freeze when it comes to sales. We have a lot of negative emotions around selling. So I really hope you grab the book. Go to page 2. We talk about a new definition of sales. It talks about sales as an act of adding value. I can feel good about that. I won't reread that. That'll be part of your homework. So now our confidence comes in. You say, hey, I acknowledge I have not learned sales, right? It's not a state of being that I just can't learn math or I can't learn sales. It's not in my genetics. It's because I simply haven't taken the time to learn. And so now it's not a state of being, it's a matter of practice. And again, just a reminder, this book isn't going to teach you how to sell cars, all right? I don't want you to go into SaaS software and create a startup because you read this book. What I hope for you is to be an authentic version of yourself that hears yes more often. Okay? So your ideal client is telling you yes. Take that revenue, let's build a business, build a sales team. I don't really want you to become that salesperson. But in the meantime, you got to make some money, right? You got to grow the business. And that starts with confidence. So now my confidence is, hey, I know what I do really well. It's probably where you started your business, right? Around something you do really well. And there's some things that you don't do very well, and that's okay. One of those things may be sales, and that's why you're watching this video. Maybe you're down here, and you want to get to here. Maybe you're pretty good and you want to go higher. That's our goal. So when we talk about effective communication, it's going to start with your confidence in yourself. It's going to come out of how you speak. Things like, well, I might be able to help you, or that could work, versus, hey, I know this, and we're going to apply it the best way to help you. It's going to start with action words, right? Verbs. I will, I can, I know. And it's going to change how people receive what you say. The next part, when we talk about being clear is much more important than being clever. Sometimes we focus on it being catchy, maybe it rhymes. I'm a sucker for a good alliteration. I love a good alliteration, which is why they're all C's, all right? Confident, clear, concise, and compelling. However, is it clear? Does this make sense? Is much, much more important. Okay. Then, I like to be concise. I grew up in missionary Baptist churches. They never ended on time. I had to unlearn that saying more words was good just because it was more words. Focus on being concise. That doesn't mean short, because remember, we don't want to compromise being clear. We don't want to sabotage being clear. But you don't get extra points for more words. And in this day and age, attention spans as they are, getting to the point is important. That's why you'll notice each one of these videos is going to be less than 10 minutes. How can I use this? That's where we want to answer for you. How can we take this and put it into practice? So we're going to speak with confidence. We're going to do our best to be clear. We're going to be concise, and we're going to say as much as we can in the fewest words. Not just to be short, but we're also not going to speak longer than we need to. Right? If we take those three, and we're talking to our ideal client, someone that's looking for us, that has the problem that we solve, that's seeking the solution we provide, it will be compelling. You don't have to convince them. You don't have to beg them to work with you. You don't have to offer them discounts. If you speak with confidence, clarity, and conciseness, it will be compelling to your ideal client. So, how do we put this into practice? Here's what I want you to do. There's 10 talking points. Page 14 and 15 is a great place to take notes. Answer these questions. This could be a post, this could be videos, 20-minute presentation. Who are you? That's a great one. Tell a personal success story. That's a great way if you're thinking of some content. Give an actionable tip. Right? This is where we start to hear yes more often through effective communication. All right? So that's step one in 8 steps to sales success. Take some time to complete that activity before you move to the next video.